Hello, everybody. It is so good to be here today. I don't know what the weather is where you all are. It's a bit, well, it's warmer today, so it feels almost like spring's coming, but it's just a tease, and we will get back to very cold weather soon, I think. But I'm glad you're here, and this is a really special session. Let's call it the animals called a special session, and as we round out the year and go into the new year, that time especially is a portal. It is a portal that we all share in going through, all of us. And we do it collectively, we do it individually. And so, the animals who live with us, they go through that portal with us, and they may or may not track this is a new year because they live in the moment, so they're not projecting forward. But especially now, given that we can look back on the year, and given whatever's happened in your personal lives, what's happening now, I found for myself when anything happens, any loss it's hard to shift from it. And so I'm a big one on finding different ways to shift my energy so I don't get stuck in the mud. I have gotten stuck in the grief mud before, but I'll eventually pull out of it in some way or another. And so what dropped in and what I've used in my own life to shift energy and to get it kind of open and flowing again, especially as we round out the year heading to the new year, we're letting go of what no longer serves us. We're letting go of lots of things that we don't want to carry with us. So now is a great time to be thinking about, let me look at that for a minute. What pieces do I not want to take with me? Like almost like it's emotional baggage that you're carrying. What do you want to leave, in the year that it served you, you used it, it helped you, and you just, you've moved beyond it. So that's something to think about. And also to think about, what do you want to take with you? What do you want to create going forward? And if you are struggling right now, grieving, and, around the holidays, everything's so joyful outside. And as you know, a lot of people don't feel joyful. And there's a lot of sadness around. So I find personally, when I'm grieving, this was something I stumbled on myself. So when we're grieving, when we're upset, when we've had a really hard time, we're kind of in that mode, we don't realize the resources we still have because we can't feel them. You don't realize you still have gratitude. You don't realize that you can access it, pull it out, and it actually shifts the energy in a big way. And animals, especially at this time of year, the blessing of the animals is so sacred and so important that what we blesses us. And this that I want to teach you today is something you can use at any time to shift your energy. You can also, and it'll connect you to your pet. And I'd like to share that this is an animal communication piece. We don't think of whatever we think, whatever's in your mind. If you went, oh, Tami, animal communication is fill in the blank. I don't think we often realize that our memories are access points, our blessings, when we connect with them and we're grateful, we're accessing their energy. That's animal communication. And what I'm going to teach today, use this when you want to feel connected to your pet, whether they're physically here or they passed on. Use it when you're grieving the loss of a pet and need to shift your focus from pain to love and appreciation. Use it when you feel disconnected from your pet and want to reestablish that connection and closeness and understanding. It happens in an instant. Use it when you're overwhelmed with emotions, such as guilt, sadness, worry, that bucket load that we carry around. And you need kind of a grounding practice to bring peace into your heart. You can use it when you want to celebrate your pet and just honor their love and companionship. And it brings the energy up in an instant. use it when you're preparing for a transition, such as the end of your pet's life, to create a sacred healing space for both of you. Use it when you want to honor all animals and you don't quite know how to do that. This is the way. Use it when you're wanting to open your heart. If you feel like you're just shut down, you just don't feel in alignment, use it for that as well. It'll open doors. It fosters like compassion and love and healing. If you want to just be mindful, and use it for that as well. And if you want to transform grief into universal love, shifting from a place of loss to a place of purpose, connection, these steps are going to really, really help. And what I really love about the steps that have helped me is you can use them alone. Each is complete in itself. You don't have to do all three, or you can do all three. And what happens is each one activates love in your system and activates that energy. The three in the order I'm going to share together create an energy field that then flows out. The more you practice it, the more you can notice that field. It's just a wonder. And I liken it to a gateway where we go from point A to point B. That step 1, step 2, step 3 is that gateway. And then at the end, the energy that gets created is a portal to shift. And so if you do it more often, you practice it in your day, you just think about this, pay attention to how it shifts the energy in your pet, how it shifts the energy in another person. I can't say enough for this today. So I'm just wondering, what are you grateful for today? Have you thought about it yet? What are you grateful for? Anything in the moment? I mean, I'm grateful that we have running water here and it's not swamp water anymore. And I'm grateful that it's a little bit warm outside and I can contemplate a bike ride. I'm grateful the girls or whoever my assistants they're always up for anything. They're never not wanting to participate. Gratitude is a way to bring our spirits back in, and it functions as a doorway to presence. And we talk about present moment, how the animals are in the present moment. That gratitude is a doorway to that. I often think people don't know how to be present. We talk about it a lot. It's like one of those overused at this point concepts, like letting go. Okay, well, how do you do that? Or does it let go of you? Right? So, the things we miss, it's interesting when we're grieving, the things we miss are actually the things we're grateful for. Claire, have you found that with Bronnie and Pika? The things you miss about them are the things that you really, really have been grateful for. And if you all want to unmute, I welcome you into the room. We just notice them more after a loss. It's not that we aren't appreciative, but that's what we miss. So pay attention to that. When you're missing it, you can actually turn that around into a gratitude. And then this other piece I'm going to talk about is a blessing. Interesting thing. We're always blessing somebody with something. Think about that. Now, we may not be priests, right? And we may associate it with religion or churches or whatever that they bless people, but we're always blessing somebody with our kindness or our anger or our smiles or our irritability so it's good to think of it that way. We're always giving something out and it's always energy. So this practice that I want to share is a way to shift that. You have your gratitude and then you're going to shift it into a blessing. And when we're grieving, how many of us think we even have access to that? I think that's gone when I'm grieving. I can't even remember what it feels like to be grateful. And this helps the mind focus in that area. So it serves as a gateway. It serves as a transition point. And I'd love to work with you all on it. And Susie and Claire, if you can unmute, that'd be great. So just think about this. by beginning a personal gratitude with your pet, what I'm going to have you do is expand it into a blessing for your pet. And then the third step is you take that energy a step further and you bless all animals. You can do this with people too. Think about that. And I'm grateful for, and then, may you watch all the football. I'm thinking of my 89-year-old friend. I'm so grateful for him teaching me some things in life about travel and tipping in New York and things like that. And may he have all the football that he wants, and may he travel the world. And then if you take that out further, you can take it out to may all people feel that freedom and that joy. So let's do it with our pets. And I know you all have some. Do you have any questions before we start? And then I'll talk to each one of you and be glad to share any. Claire, do you have any questions? We're going to do a gratitude for your pet. And Susie, I know that you have recently, since yesterday, shared that, a very special pet, a very special animal passed. So let's start with, I'm so grateful for. That's an easy one, right? So Deanna, I'm so grateful for.
I'm so grateful that for this show. It's just, it's exactly what I need right now. So thank you. I
love that. And who is in your arms?
So Lulu just had the surgery last week.
Surgery for her eye?
Eye. Yeah. They removed the eye. Yeah.
And how's she doing?
Great. She's a trooper.
I would be like, I'm so grateful that the surgery went well for you. And I'm so grateful you're a trooper.
She's showing me a lot of strength and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And we can also turn that into like, thank you, Lulu, for. Thank you, Jeff, for. Thank you. And I believe it was Stoney. Is that the name, Susie, of the cat that passed? Thank you for. What would that be? Claire, can you think of anything?
I'm so grateful for seeing the joy that Jeff shows me when he's running in the park.
Unbridled joy. Where it's like dance, like, what is it? Dance like no one's looking. That's what they have, that unbridled joy, and they're not apologetic for it. They are full on. And Susie, I know you're muted, but if you're welcome to pop into the chat if you'd like to share what you are grateful for Stoney, because I know he impacted your life quite a bit. In what ways? I had the opportunity to be part of Stoney's journey. Yes. And you wouldn't trade it for anything, right? It makes a big difference. So if you turn that into a blessing, think about this for a minute. How would you bless Jeff? How would you bless Stoney? How would you bless Lulu and all the others that you have? And usually blessings, you can start them any way you want. We can give that out. It's an abundance that lives within us. So a traditional blessing would be, may you, and you put their name, always feel, that's a prompt. I bless you with, may our bond continue to grow with, I bless your journey. Susie, I think that's what you just, said, bless your journey. Our journey together was so special, and I bless your journey. And that's, again, really, really important thing that you can do, especially if there's an anniversary date for a passing, or like, for instance, I just realized, and my niece texted me today, that this is my sister's passing date from 20 years ago. And what I've always done is lit a candle on that date in the evening, and it's usually later on. And I I've written something, you know, a gratitude, a thank you for it. And this is also really helpful with passings that are very recent to bless the soul on its way, on its journey. So it's a powerful kind of piece where you're connecting with that energy and you're sending it out as well. May your days be filled with, if I were to look at the girls, may your days be filled with chews and treats. If I go to the cabinet and they think I'm even going that direction, they're right behind me because they think I'm going to get out a snack. So they are snack hounds. So if you think about some of those prompts, Deanna, does anything drop in for you? Like, what would you want to bless? Because think about it, we're giving a gift when we bless somebody. And you know, our minds don't think about this often. We don't go around in our day thinking, oh, I can send you a blessing. Susie says, blessing Stoney for coming into my life and teaching me compassion and about abandonment.
Yeah.
Well, so Deanna, anything drop in for you?
It's blessing her being here and all the joy and happiness and love that life can give her.
And do you feel like she lacked that before she came to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that something she shared as far as just a feeling you have, or is it something that they told you from where she came?
More of a feeling I had and kind of what she shared. I mean, she came with the eye that had been injured and nobody took care of it. And she was blind to that eye. So obviously, probably not the best circumstances. And just as I have had her just a short time, she's changed a lot. She's opened up. She's full of fun and life. And she's my sassy girl. I mean, she takes Bear down, you know. He's afraid of her.
So she's got a lot of spunk in her,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you need more spunk in your life sometimes?
Yeah. She likes it. She's my sassy girl. I love it. I encourage it. Yeah.
I love that. I love your, like, thank you so much for your spunk. You know, may you never lose that. May you always keep it, and please share it around.
Yeah.
I love that.
She gets the play area outside. It's all pressed out. She just starts running full on, barking her head off and jumping up and down at anything that she thinks is out there. And it's like, okay, you go, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's that unbridled joy that I think we censor ourselves on.
Yeah.
You know, when we were kids, we probably had it. And then when we get to, you know, out in the world, you know, you get called crazy if you're running around like that.
Even when you said that, I just got an image of the kid on the playground, the weird kid that's running around, you know, going, everything else to be, you know, point your top that you don't do stuff like that. That's not, even though you're a kid, it's like you're quieter. You don't go running around the play yard like you're just full of, like, I don't know, on drugs or something. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, fun and just life.
You know, it's almost like Minnie, who passed in October. She was this little min pin, and she was very spunky. And she considered herself the kind of the deputy of the group. So, you know, when the other ones would come in, she would escort them to whatever chair they were supposed to be at. And when, you know, they got playing too much, she was also the joy police. So she'd be like, too much joy. You better calm that down. Which was funny in itself. Nadine, it's good to see you. She says, oh, grateful I'm alive. I had a stroke and feel really grateful. Oh, yes. Yes. I am so sorry, but I'm so grateful that you're here. And, you know, I think our gratitudes and if you have a gratitude practice, and if you don't, it'd be a great one to start, especially going into the new year. They connect us with ourselves. And when we go through hard times in our own personal lives, they help us understand what matters most. What matters most? That's also a very good question to ask yourself as you go through your days. What matters most today? What do I value most? Because we're always getting what we value most. Not part of the time, all of the time. So that's something that's a whole discussion in itself. Patty says, grateful that I'm able to fulfill my purpose. Yes, don't we all want to be a value in life? We all want to do something at the end of our lives. I'm pretty sure we're not going to think, I should have worked as harder that, more days, more things like that. We start to really appreciate the essence, who a person was for us, who our pets were. That's what we connect with to begin with. We just don't realize it. We think we're connecting to their form, and we are, but we're actually connecting to their spirit. And then when they pass, that's what remains. So it's that we already have created that connection when they were with us, but we may not realize, oh, that's still there. I know how to do this. And you do it by, it's like animal communication hack here. Drop into your heart and say a blessing or say a gratitude. They're in. And then you'll start thinking of other things. I would even challenge you, like, do 5 to 10 gratitudes a day for your pet. The more you practice, the more it will become easier and easier. And then your mind will catch on to the game and it'll start looking for things to be grateful for. So it's an interesting thing. First, the mind struggles, and then the mind just steps out of the way. And when you drop it, the heart's like, I can handle this, just like you take a back seat, got this, and let your pet help you and tell you. And Cheryl says, grateful for waking up. That's wonderful. I love that. And that has so many levels to think about waking up. Is it waking up in the day? Is it waking up in your life? And Olga, I know, who is watching us, I know that you're so grateful for your cat. So grateful for Sonia. Claire says, I was completely grateful for Bronny's message last week. Thank you for reminding me. If you don't mind, I want to share it with the group. Let me see if I can pick it up. This is great. I'm glad you reminded me. And Jennifer says, I am so very grateful and yet continue to be plagued by all the homeless dogs and knowing that I cannot save them all. Jennifer, I am right there with you. Your heart just melts and it's so painful. This is a good use of a blessing, a really good use of a blessing. If ever an animal needs a blessing, it's in that moment. May you find shelter. May you find warmth. I was at the grocery store the other day, and there was a guy sitting outside underneath. There's some trees in the parking lot, and he was sitting, and it was kind of a rainy day, and people had hoods on, but I looked, and I could swear there was a cat around his neck. So I'm like, is this guy sitting there with his backpack? And then there's this cat. I'm pretty sure there's a cat. So I go over to produce and strike up a conversation with the person putting it out. And I said, I think there's a guy out there that has a cat around his neck. And she said, oh, yes, we know him. He comes in here and he buys produce, and that's his cat. And so, it's this gratitude and abundance without, what may seem as lack. I don't feel that this gentleman felt lack at all. He was very, very full. And so, Jennifer, I think you helped us all in, thinking about that piece. I passed a bear the other night, and it was just strolling around. It was in the dark. I was coming back from somewhere, and it was a good time for a blessing. May you find all the food you want. It was starting to look at the garbage cans. So yeah, all the homeless, all souls matter. And your blessings go out to, it's like they get on a journey too. So it's like, how many blessings can, it's like the blessing challenge. How many blessings can I give to animals today? How many gratitudes can I give today? And, you will be amazed at how it shifts your energy from going from sadness to even the tiniest piece, even if you're super grieving, it's this tiniest window, this crack where light can come through. And we need that. And the more we do it, the more it opens. So let me see, Claire, if I can find that, because I saw it this morning. And you may have to put it in the chat for me. I lost it, but basically you had a message from Ronnie, and wasn't it a
Yeah.
song?
Yeah, I was in the bathroom again. I need to get a little notebook for some.
That must be like command center for you.
Yeah.
It's too funny.
And the shower radio came on, and it was a song. Oh God, what was the song called? I can't think what the song was called.
It'll come back to you. Baggage claim always comes back around.
Yeah, and it completely matched my mantra for what I've always said. Bronnie's relationship with me has been that I never knew I could love this much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I get all over body chills on that one.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the.
It was something to do with loving.
Oh yeah, it was. I never knew love like this.
Right.
And I just stood there and I was like,
Whoa.
it just like immediately was just, oh my God.
There's a gratitude right that. Thank you. And I know you did. Thank you so much for that. That was a wow. Right? Because you weren't expecting it. And that's when we go after messages, they often elude us. Messages are meant to be received. They can't be chased down, you know? And that's the way it is with mediumship and any psychic work. The messages are received. So I love that. And Susie, do you have audio now? If you bless them, and we spend a lot of time in gratitude, what would you bless Jeff with today?
Warmth, comfort, companionship.
And does he have that today?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Deanna, what would you bless any of yours? The gang.
Just joy, unbridled joy. Just being in that place of everything is new and astounding, and that curiosity, because then Carrie, when they do that, then it comes to me too. And so I guess it's a blessing for me in a way, but it's like the more that they can show me that just that pure love, that loving life, that we got this and we're just going to play that crap on it, you know? Yeah.
You know, I think we do know it as children, at least part of the time, but we forget. And if it weren't for the animals, would we ever remember it?
Yeah.
Like, how do we even know what unbridled joy is? They demonstrate it to us. You know, we have to be trained, and it takes a village. They're like, they constantly are pulling us back, like Patty said, to her being grateful for her living her purpose, right? They pull us back to, oh, you know, I'm home again in my heart. And so, Susie, I don't know if you can do a blessing, or any of you on watching can think of a blessing you'd like to bless today. Because here's the thing, as Sonia Choquette would say, when we name it, we claim it. So when you name it and when you put it out there in words, you're actually, it's going out there. It's a real thing. You've created energy, movement. So if that's the case, and you knew you were that powerful, and how powerful the heart is to bless, you know, it doesn't cost anything, and it adds, it enhances, you know, it's abundant. So give me some others. May you, like, I'm looking at some of the ones I wrote down. May our bond continue to what? Grow. May our bond continue to deepen even more. May our bond always be forever. And with any of the ones that have had passing, like Susie's Stoney, that made such a big impact, and she got to be part of his journey. They created a bond together. And then Stoney went to a new family where he experienced love and compassion and all the good things in life. And when we see somebody, an animal or human, thrive, we thrive too. So you see that domino effect I'm talking about? Starts out with an I'm grateful for this, and then we turn the energy outward from our heart into another. You know, I bless you with warm laps. I bless you with someone who loves you all the time. I'm thinking of that guy with the cat around his neck that traveled with him apparently and was perfectly fine. How do you turn that then outward even more? How does that expand even more? Got the gratitude. Thank you for this. Then we've got the, I can bless the pet I have, but how can we make it grow even more? What can we wish for that would help others, that would help other animals? And again, may every animal find love. May every homeless one find a home. And, if you pass what you think is a homeless animal, you can always say, may you, instead of may all. It's just a powerful way to open your heart and let the heart do what it's here to do. The animals always tell me, your heart's meant to share love, and the love's meant to be shared. Keeping it in is why we feel so awful when we're grieving, is we're kind of out of whack with that piece. And when it gets back in, we realize, oh, that's still there all the time. And if you're sad and grieving now, I guarantee you can find something to be thankful for, or probably a lot of things with your pet who's passed. And it's sort of fun to think you can give them a gift of a blessing. I didn't know I could do that. So it opens us up. And now, especially toward the end of the year, as we're thinking about transitions and movements, it's a really, really good time to bless all animals. And if you turn it on yourself, what are you thankful for in yourself? And if you're like doing the whole, you can be the blesser, but you can also get blessed, what would it look like? So we don't think about that piece. We don't put ourselves in the equation. If your animals were looking at you, what would they say to us? I'm thankful for. Or what would, Jeff, Bear, any of them, Paris, Poppy, say, may you have full cupboards so that you will give me treats all the time. Jennifer says, Ollie, Josie, and I pray every morning that God present himself in the hearts of all the homeless pets so they never feel alone. That is a blessing. That is a beautiful prayer and beautiful blessing. And thank you so much for sharing that. We don't realize how powerful we are. We don't realize how powerful the heart is. And it's easy to get consumed by things that happen that knock us off. But this is a way to tip the balance a little back into proper placement. If you I was thinking a minute, if you fill in this blank, what would it be? I send love to all animals, and what would the and be?
I receive love back.
Apparently somebody's getting in on the action. Yeah. Oh, she's sending love too, by the way. I send love to all animals. And do animals want freedom to be who they are? Do they want safety, security? Same things we do. So you see how when you say it, it actually connects you back to you. Because and just watching you all who are watching and the guests here today, I'm watching and I can feel energetically. If you're watching on Facebook, I can feel you reflecting back in. Your energy's doing a deep dive back in the heart because you have to answer that with the heart. You can't answer that with the mind. Could you entertain these 3 steps? Again, each of them is self-contained. Could you consider using these in your life just to try for a day? Even if you start with 1. You don't have to remember all 3. But the reason they're in that order and what I discovered myself is, trying to be thankful for, what I missed, basically. That's how I discovered what I'm missing is what I'm thankful for. All right, got that one. So then I can list a lot of things. And even when I think I'm in a place of scarcity, we still have that ability to bless another. We can still be grieving and we can still bless. And it's a huge shift for the heart to be able to work like that in the world. So you're impacting it's like the dandelion that you're blowing out to everybody. Of the 3, if you pulled them apart, which one stood out to you the most? 3 steps. Gratitude for your pet, blessing for your pet, blessing for all animals. And they build on one another. But if you pulled them out, which one stood out to you most? Is it the thankful piece? And I'm wondering if that's the case, is it because we're taught you're supposed to be thankful? So there's probably a natural area for us to go in. We're not taught we can bless, and we're not taught that we're blessing people all the time. It's just, what are we blessing them with? What are we giving out? What are we sharing? What are they receiving from us? Because we're all about receiving from the animals, and they do a really good job of blessing our lives. So it may take some practice, these other pieces. If you start it with may you, then that automatically puts the energy toward the other. It's almost like a greeting card that you're sending them, a virtual heart greeting card. May you have a good day today. You may really get onto this and then out in your day to day be blessing everybody. Like, may you do this and may you feel this, because it's fun and it actually, the energy is wonderful to feel. I think it's good though to, at the end of the year here, to consider lighting a candle and doing 1, if not all 3 of these for the animals, even if you don't have any animals. And Susie works with shelter animals, and she blesses animals every single day that she's with them. And she knows that how heartbreaking it can be. So, you are already blessing every day, but if you consciously spoke these words, that helps shift the energy to a more positive. Claire popped in. She said, I interact daily and have a good day, evening. I really appreciate you all coming on. I sense from you all that you're thinking. There's some movement. It's one of those deep conversations that we're thinking of. So, what would your takeaway and what would your giveaway be? What's your takeaway from today? I know Jennifer talks about, the prayer. Maybe that's your takeaway. Maybe the takeaway was Nadine's being thankful for her health and her life from the stroke, grateful for this live that we get to spend time together. So those are easy to pull in. What would your giveaway be? And if if you're the publisher's clearinghouse and you get a knock on doors and you give them a prize, what's your giveaway going to be to somebody today? AKA your blessing. Because we're always giving out gifts and they're always either being received or they're not. And the good thing about animals is we actually receive theirs pretty easily. It's with people that we tend to guard. And understandable because everybody comes together with their different happenings from the day, different agendas. So you want to tell us just briefly about Stoney?
I used to be a volunteer at the Agora Animal Shelter for a few years. Stoney came in as, I forget who, I don't know his background story, but he came in as a rescue. He was that big orange or green tabby, super friendly. He had no negative energy about him. He just wanted to be loved. He wanted someone to talk to him, someone to pet him. He just wanted a loving home. But he came in with diabetes, and he was dealing with some seizures, and he needed insulin. He needed a home where the family or the person would provide him his insulin shots and other medication. And this couple came in and adopted him, even with all his health-related problems. And then I've been following the story on Instagram with the family, and she set up a GoFundMe to cover over $10,000 worth of medical. And they were all these pictures of him just so relaxed and so loved. And then I hear a story online that he had passed away on Friday.
It's so poignant because we often meet animals not necessarily at the beginning of their lives, but we meet them at the beginning of our relationship, right? So, wherever we step into the story at is the beginning. And what I'm feeling from Stoney is he was such a healer. Part of his soul purpose and soul contract was to share that love, to have equanimity in the face of such challenge, that he could continue to share his love. And he's telling me that he knew it's like he wrote all this that we've been talking about is like he knows about blessings because he's been so blessed. He is so grateful. I really feel it would be really beneficial to talk to him in this way and connect with him in this way and start listing all the things you're thankful for, because he's not sad. He doesn't feel he didn't have enough time. He's so incredibly grateful for the time he did have. That's where all his focus is. And animals always, 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 it's all about quality. It is not about quantity. Whereas we try to they left too early or whatever it is. We've got opinions and thoughts really shoulds and shouldn'ts. This should have happened this way. But he's saying everything was perfect. And the people that took him in helped him grow even more and personally develop. So was it a shortened existence by our standards? Like we find the love of our lives, or we find these precious beings. I'm thinking of Wilbur, a little puppy from a litter that came to me, and he passed at 4 months. And it doesn't make sense to the mind, but Stoney's saying that he lived fully no matter what, but he also is a healer cat. So connecting with him was very easy, he says, in this life. And connecting with him still through the sadness, I think you'll be surprised at how present he is. Because there's not trauma related, there's not any blockages. He's saying there's not any blockages. And his body wasn't necessarily going to continue to function. But he said he's been blessed with love. And anytime you're blessed with love, it's like the best thing in the world. And I remembering Butch, a dog that I had, and he came with all kinds of issues. And he basically shared with me that even if you're loved for 1 day, 1 minute, 1 second, that it's a rich lifetime. So that's why I'm like, if this piece of us that can love and send out thanks and blessings, let's pump that up and send it out to all the animals and be conscious of it. What would you like to say to him that you're so thankful for, that he gave you, that you now have to carry with you in your life?
He showed me the love that I've been lacking in my life. I've been wanting to be loved for so long, and I don't really know what it's like to be loved. But when when I first saw him in his cage, he would just sit there with those big orange eyes, and I felt like he had no judgment for me, which is so rare in my life.
What a beautiful angel that came across your path to show you, and it's what we notice is what we need to see. And he's saying that he flooded you with love. And he's glad that you received it. He's very pleased you received it. And he says you knew him well. Also, you used he didn't judge you like you may feel judged by humans and in your life experience. That's a piece. He says he doesn't judge that his life was too short or a hard life or that he had, problems and he shouldn't have. Not at all. And you felt that.
But to see him through Instagram and all the pictures, all the love these people gave him and how relaxed he was, and he knew he was in the right place.
That's a blessing. And I want also to point out that he gave people an opportunity to feel that love and to share it when they might not otherwise be able to. And here was this cat that they may not have even known that touched their hearts, that opened their hearts. He's a big master healer. And that's why it's so profoundly touching, is because, you've been in the presence of a master teacher and healer. And they
call him an angel in disguise of a cat.
Absolutely. And listen, here to tell you that absolutely happens. Yes, they do come in the form many, many times of an animal. Definitely. And
He was a master communicator is here. Very true.
And he will continue to be that. You haven't lost contact, and he's not wanting you to be sad because he's wanting you to take away for you to be what he gave you. And now what are you going to do with that? Are you going to be an emotional hoarder, or are you going to share it? Some of us are emotional hoarders now. We know we are. Are you going to share that out like he did?
Oh, of course.
His example.
I'm volunteering at animal rescue, Eastwood Animal Rescue. Clint Eastwood's daughter runs this, so I work with the cats there, giving them love and helping them get adopted out.
You keep doing that because you're activating that love is exponentially growing. It may not look like you're doing much, but you are absolutely exactly where you need to be. And I'm also hearing Stoney saying to continue your work because the right ones will be shown to you. Not right, but the ones that are needing what you can offer are absolutely going to be shown to you, and he's going to guide some souls your way, he says. So I would
Please.
just thank him for that, and thank him for all the gifts he shared, and you're not going to let them go to waste. You're going to use them.
No, he will always be in my life. Maybe he'll show up in spirit. Well, I can sense those things anyway, but
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I'd say be on the lookout. Yeah. He is a really
he can
good
visit.
communicator.
He can visit anytime he wants.
I got some questions roll over here. Let's see, Julie, my cats have always comfort home. Oh, may my cats a blessing. Have a comfortable home and good health. May they know as much love as they have given me. I like it. Patty says you were blessed to have known him, right?
Exactly.
And anybody else across his path. And Jennifer says, what happens with the animals that never get to know that love from humans? You know, it's an interesting question because animals also share it amongst themselves. And animals come in with the natural ability and connected to love. And part of their, on a soul level, Jennifer, they absolutely know that love exists. They come in to experience these pieces and to have others experience it as well. Opportunities, we're given opportunities all the time. So with the animals that never get to know that love from humans, that they are the ones that I would turn that into a blessing. May all animals that have not benefited or shared in human love receive love beyond measure. That's why we have to keep this going and send it out. The world needs it. Our animals need it. All the animals need it. And Claire said it's a blessing that we have these rescue centers where we can show that love, and loving homes are there for them. Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
Healing for me.
Yes, it is. And so it's reciprocal. You know, we're sharing gifts. And I think this piece is, you know, these 3 steps, separate or together, pack a powerful punch. They will shift your energy in a minute, in a second.
Yeah.
So today, why don't you concentrate on thinking of as many things to be thankful for Stoney, as many things as possible, and watch how your energy shifts.
Yeah, it'll get better. The tears will go away eventually.
Well, you know, let the tears flow. That's fine. Don't push them away. And then, you know, as the tears come, just express some statement of thanks. You can cry and thank too.
Well,
thank you so much. I'm so glad you got the audio. Like,
me too.
Talks to you and see you. Wonderful. See, that was Stoney coming through, getting you help with your audio. So Stoney's already on the job.
Keep at it.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for being here today. It's been a especially special live because I feel like you're going to go out into the world and into your own lives and take some real treasures and take some gems and then share them. Keep sharing. All right. Well, listen, have wonderful holidays. And if I don't see you before the new year, I will definitely see you after. Let's all be really mindful of this transition point of what we are grateful for and what we want to carry forward. Set your intentions now. And I will see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.